All right. Hi, everybody. Dr. Rafage. Vet Triage, Wednesday, September 18th, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time. Thanks to those watching in the playback. A little bit late tonight, but that's all right. Tomorrow, September 19th, I should be on again, and I look forward to it. We're going to talk about ear cropping and tail docking briefly. I haven't done like a deep dive in this. And oh, by the way, the YouTube live stream restarted. Hopefully you guys caught the beginning. I haven't done a deep dive on this for a while, but I'll go through it in general terms for those who are not familiar with it and what the conflicts may be with that. So tail docking is tail amputation, typically done in puppies, usually when they're first born or at some young age, but still like they can barely walk yet. And ear cropping is shortening the ears, or at least shaping them in a way that's in line with the breed standard. That procedure is usually done as a puppy, but much older. And there are several reasons why people dock the tails and crop the ears. Number one, the only reason overall is it's cosmetic. There's no functional benefit for the pet typically. So cosmetics are the overarching term, but underneath cosmetics, there are certain reasons why. Some people do it for status. It makes the pet look a certain way that they want. Some people breeders want to set the breed standard, and so certain breeds are considered they are characterized by docked tails and cropped ears. So Doberman Pinscher, for example, Rottweilers. And so there's a breed standard thing with it, status thing with it. And then the second category, other than cosmetic, which is a much smaller category, is going to be for medical reasons. There's almost never a reason to crop the ears, medically speaking. Now, you could argue that if you have a dog that's got recurrent ear infections, because some of the dogs that have really floppy ears that cover the opening, they maybe hold more moisture or don't allow for adequate drainage of the ear, and they're more prone to ear infection. So maybe you could argue that if you were to crop the ears medically, you could prevent that. But that hasn't been shown. And there are plenty of dogs with long ears that don't get infections, and there are plenty of dogs with short ears that do get infections. The tail is a bit more common, but still not that common to amputate the tail. Common reasons for amputating a tail, medically speaking, are because of a tumor or growth on the tail, because they badly injured the tail beyond repair, like the soft tissues, or even a fracture or luxation. Those are the two most common reasons. And so there are some medical reasons for a tail amputation, but again, those things aren't done unless there's a medical condition. And like I said, the ear cropping thing is rarely, I can't really think of a lot of reasons to do it. Even if I was removing a tumor from the ear flap in a dog and I want to make it cosmetic, it would only be the affected side. I wouldn't do both sides just to make them symmetric. And it won't really be an ear cropping. It's going to be whatever reconstruction I have to do to make the ear look good and try to get as much of the tumor as possible. So anyway, so that's ear cropping and tail docking in a nutshell. Now, the concerns to those procedures are, number one, it's almost always cosmetic. And so, is that really something that an animal that doesn't have a choice in the matter, is that fair to do to them? In people, if you go for cosmetic surgery, you're electing to do it, understanding the pros and cons, the risks involved, whatever, and you're doing it at your own peril, let's say, your own decision. Animals are not like that. They're not asking for these things. So that's the first problem. There's an ethical component to that. Secondly, there is utility in having a long tail and long ears. For example, the tails and the ears tell other pets what they're thinking, right? It's a signal. It's a form of communication. And we all know if there's a dog that's kind of being fearful or aggressive, their tail may tuck between their legs. If the dog is really happy and excited, the tail's going to wag back and forth. If they're sort of investigating and the tail's kind of held straight and sort of steady. Same thing with the ears, right? If there's an interest in the environment, the ears perk up. They rotate to try and figure out where that sound is coming from, what it could be. We know in cats, for example, the ears back mean that they're fearful and whatever else. And so anyway, there's functionality to these things. Balancing with the tail is important as well. Again, more so cats, but still, it is a function of that appendage. So you want to have those things, those anatomic structures intact for those purposes. So there's some functionality there. So there's that. Now there are more and more regions of the world that are banning these procedures, and whether you agree with it or not, that's the way they're doing it. And also I want to make it clear to folks who are watching this: veterinarians are not required to do this procedure. Just because you want that done to your pet doesn't mean that the vet has to agree to it. They can decline doing that, and you can go elsewhere. So it's not a mandatory thing by veterinarians. But the vets who do it, they do it, and it's their call. It's legal and whatever. I would say the majority of folks in the vet field don't consider it appropriate, ethical, whatever. And I'm in that camp too. I would get rid of the whole thing. The breed standard should include those features that come with the breed when they're born. As far as I care, but the breed discussion is a whole nother one anyway, because of course we all know there are certain breeds that have problems, medical issues because of their inbreeding. But we can talk about that another time. So anyway, I'm in the camp of getting rid of this. I've never performed an ear cropping. I did do tail docking when I was not even a veterinarian yet. I didn't do it. I saw a hospital that did it. Maybe they had me do one or two or something like that, because it's a very easy procedure when puppies are young. But anyway, all in all, I don't do those procedures myself, and I don't want to, don't need to. So, but it's your choice as a veterinarian if you want to do that or not. And so those are the details there on those principles. I'll end it there. Thanks to those who are watching the playback. Hopefully that helps. And leave any comments you like. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.